Good summary here, Kathy. Good job. This tells me a lot. A lot of times the way a student writes and what the student writes about their projects tells me and tells we instructors just as much about the learning process as the actual work does. And I think that this indicates a high degree of proficiency. You're referring to some things here that indicate to me that you're really paying attention in class, and that's fantastic. And to segue that to the ad, I think it's very obvious that you're paying attention in class based on the results of this ad. The ad is excellent. Let me get this in the window here so we can take a look at it. And okay, there we go. Okay, so as I said, I think it's an outstanding ad. I think the Pace Mechanics is very good. Good, solid hierarchy. And I think we're looking good. There's a couple of areas I think that can be improved. And so let's just go ahead and jump right in. I think there's two recommendations I have. Number one, the background is showing some clouds and they're turning gray. And I used to work for I did work for a company that we did some magazine ads for not a Caribbean resort, but a Mexican resort. And I remember in one of the meetings, one of the team members had showed some images for consideration in one of the magazine ads, and one of the images had some clouds. And I remember the marketing team from the resort were like, they were actually a little indignant about it. They were like, absolutely not. Do not bring images with clouds into these meetings. We don't want to see clouds in our ads. So, and the reason I share that story is just, it could be somewhat significant. So you've got two options here. You can just simply mask out the background and add a new background of a sunny sky, or at least a blue sky. Or you can choose a new background image. It's up to you, but I think those clouds are just a little bit of a concern. This whole area right here is outstanding. Headline area is a little bit heavy for the composition, making the composition a little bit top heavy. What I would recommend doing here is two things. Number one, I would reduce the size of the headline subhead combination. Right now, I think leave the ordinary behind. This is so big, it's dropping the word behind to the second line. If we reduce that by 5 points or so, it's going to include the headline on one line, and then you can just center that, seeing that it's only going to be 4 words. Then what you can do is reduce the size of the subhead and left align it with the headline. Actually, the headline is going to be centered, so that you might indent this by 1 or 2 letters, like align the subhead to the E and leave instead of the L. So you would have leave the ordinary behind, then follow that margin down, escape to Amethyst Bay. Just that's too big though. That's almost as big as the headline. So you want to reduce that subhead size considerably. Other than that, that's my only issue is the background image and the size and scale and the visual weight associated with the headline of the subhead. Other than that, I think you're just doing fantastic work. Okay, so if you have any questions, or I would recommend working in that direction. But as you're working in that direction, if you stumble into any problems, or if you have any issues or any questions at all, please let me know. I'm right here, and I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. Okay, great work. Thank you very much for sharing.